Welcome back to the Joy Quan Dai channel. In today's video, we will explore an incredibly mysterious topic together: the phenomenon of lucid dreaming, also known as lucid dreams. The reason I chose this topic is that I recently came across a shocking article about the ability to communicate while dreaming. According to a study conducted by an organization called the Quick Space Movement, two people can communicate with each other while simultaneously experiencing a lucid dream. The spirit being intoxicated and the soul leaving the body. And if that were true, could two souls converse with each other in a dream? After watching this video, I believe it will completely change your understanding of the universe. This universe is more wondrous than anything the human mind can conceive, and only the teachings of Buddhism can help us truly comprehend it. Now then, let's begin. Thank you all for watching this video. As mentioned from the beginning, the marvel of lucid dreaming immediately brought to my mind the mystical tales recounted in Buddhist scriptures. Shariputra, one of the Buddha's 12 great disciples, was deep in meditation when a bodhisattva named Vimalakirti performed the act of separating his spirit from his body, and directly entered the scene of the Buddha's sarira, while also recounting his story in detail. Such analogous instances appear very frequently in the Buddhist sutras. Therefore, when I heard this news, I was extremely excited. This experiment seemed to have an uncanny similarity to the teachings found in Buddhist scriptures. However, after reading the article carefully, I realized that this experiment was, in fact, not as I had imagined. In fact, during the experiment, both individuals achieved a state of lucid dreaming, yet their consciousness remained completely alert. They are fully capable of consciously controlling their speech and actions, while also remembering every detail of the dream's progression. Both had sincerely professed their love for each other, yet their way of communicating bore no resemblance to the teachings of the Buddhist sutras. I love you. Then, the device on the head will record this biological signal and convert it into sound. This sound is transmitted through the auditory sense to the other person, who is in a state of lucid dreaming. I love you. In reality, these two individuals are not directly conversing in the dream, but are instead using electronic signals transmitted via Wi-Fi to communicate indirectly. When I realized it was fake news, I was extremely disappointed. Sometimes things happen so serendipitously. Although this was just a piece of inaccurate news, while researching lucid dreaming, I accidentally discovered a novel topic: Tibetan dream yoga. At that moment, I suddenly realized, for thousands of years, Buddhism has been researching and profoundly understanding the secrets of dreams, delving even deeper than Tibetan dream yoga. Lucid dreaming is just for children. Tibetan dream yoga is divided into two levels. The first level is called Yoga of the Rim, guidance on the methods and state of lucid dreaming. This is the most basic and fundamental level. In this state, you can experience supernatural phenomena like flying, passing through walls, or even manipulating the flow of time within your very own dream. But it is also just like an illusory game, created by you in your own dream. Sleep yoga is the vastly superior upgraded version of the REM yoga. The results achieved through practicing sleep yoga are entirely distinct from those of conventional methods. When one cultivates to the realm of success, the practitioner can transcend all limitations of this material world. At this level, you can attain a divine state akin to that of the Buddha Myotar in Buddhism. The ability to infiltrate another person's dreams or meditative state. Of course, here is the translation. Therefore, when exploring the mystical Tibetan yoga of dream sleep, you will discover that the study of dreams and how ancient peoples interpreted them is truly profound. Far more profound than modern science. Before delving into the practice of dream yoga, let us first discuss a mystery that science has yet to solve. Why do we dream, and do those dreams serve any purpose? Currently, scientists still cannot provide a precise answer to this question. Wa could only speculate that the dream likely stemmed from two causes. On one hand, Wa believes that dreams are a product of the evolutionary process. For example, we often dream of being chased by wild animals, strangers, or other frightening things. Falling into a deep abyss, or being paralyzed and unable to move, much like the phenomenon of sleep paralysis. Such dreams certainly make one feel extremely terrified and insecure. One hypothesis suggests that this is how we practice and prepare for real-life situations through our dreams. to mentally prepare oneself to face real-life dangerous situations. For example, when walking alone at night, we often have a natural reaction of becoming more alert and responsive. Therefore, a dream can be seen as a kind of dress rehearsal. It helps us prepare to face dangerous real-life situations. On the other hand, some scientists believe that dreams serve no purpose at all. Just a superfluous byproduct. Simply put, the brain is reorganizing memories and eliminating unnecessary information. And dreams, when all is said and done, are merely a byproduct. Simply put, scientists believe that dreams are a type of hallucination created by the brain. Below are the two main scientific hypotheses that explain dreaming, but in Buddhism, and particularly in the Tibetan yoga of the dream practice, the answer was completely different. Buddhism asserts that it has a clear explanation for why humans dream. Buddhism posits that the fundamental cause of dreams is the ignorance and afflictions within one's consciousness. Ignorance, in Buddhist doctrine, is the concept denoting the darkness and delusion of the human mind. Simply put, we are comprehending the true nature of this world. Buddhism posits that the world we live in is merely an illusion, and the consciousness created by the brain is fundamentally unreal. Behind the layer of ordinary consciousness exists a true self, which is the inherent Buddha nature within every person. In this virtual world, our perception is obscured, preventing us from seeing the true nature of reality. That is the very root of ignorance. From this lack of understanding, we only use our brain's consciousness to reason about everything. And the brain is characterized by generating infinite desires, leading to emotions such as anxiety, fear, and lust. These negative emotions accumulate to such an extent that we cannot fully release them in our daily lives, not even in our sleep. They will forever appear in our dreams, to torment our conscience. Buddhism has put forward a remarkably scientific explanation for this issue, though very few people are aware of it. In some previous videos, I've shared about psychologist Kot Trang and the method of positive visualization he created to control emotions. This method suggests that you try to visualize negative emotions as another version of yourself. For example, when feeling stressed about money, try visualizing that emotion as a part of yourself, then talk to and soothe it in a quiet space. This method helps to relieve stress and break free from the cycle of negative thoughts. Research has proven this method to be effective for many patients suffering from psychological issues. And interestingly, those who practice regularly rarely dream, and some even almost never dream at all. This demonstrates that releasing negative emotions can help you fall into a deeper sleep. Tibetan dream yoga possesses not only extraordinary power but also holds many mysteries, far surpassing conventional methods. In dream yoga, one not only trains to transform negative emotions but can also heal illnesses through deep concentration while in a state of lucid dreaming. For example, when you feel cold, you can visualize a flame spreading warmth throughout your body. Dispel the bitter cold, warming every cell in your body. This not only helps improve health, but also opens the door to self-reliance and a deeper awareness. Step into the journey of exploring your own vast and colorful inner world. They conducted a rather unique experiment. A group of professional weightlifters completely stopped all physical training for 2 weeks. Instead of actually exercising, they just sit still and visualize the muscle movements in their minds. The results were astonishing. Their muscle mass had increased by up to 13%. Therefore, do not underestimate the power of ideas and habits of thought. These seemingly vague notions can in fact have a direct impact on your body. Dao Kim Te Tak. For example, to expel cold energy from the body, you can use the visualization technique of imagining a flame. In DOKM, begin the contemplation from the feet, then move to the calves, knees, and thighs. All these parts gradually transform into flames. Then, continue building the firewall, spreading it upward until the entire body transforms into a living torch. Banish the cold and dissolve all blockages in the body. In addition to visualizing a firewall to dissolve stagnant energy, you can also visualize a wind wall to promote the circulation of blood and energy and expel toxic energies from the body. The wind visualization method follows a similar procedure, starting from the feet and gradually spreading upward until the entire body feels as light as a breeze. eliminating all stagnation and blockages within. Even more wondrous, there is a meditation on emptiness. That's when your body falls apart, feeling as if all energy has been completely drained. Besides the wind wall shop, you can also try this method. From the soles of your feet to the crown of your head, visualize each part of your body gradually dissolving until your entire physical form merges and becomes one with the space around you. Light as a feather, ethereal as a wisp of air, all heaviness melts away, leaving you brimming with vitality and energy. These visualization methods can be practiced while awake, but they are most effective when performed during a lucid dream. However, the issue is that it is very difficult for the average person to achieve a state of lucid dreaming. Visualization methods can allow you to test your ideas, such as dissolving into space. You will feel light, floating like a dry bone adrift, all heaviness melting away and brimming with vitality. Visualization methods can be performed while awake, but they will be most effective when carried out during a lucid dream. One can experiment with visualization methods, such as the light visualization technique. His desk was cluttered with drawings of countless different ideas, but he still hadn't found the optimal solution. Once, Elias nearly drowned while swimming because he had woken up from a nightmare about being chased by cannibalistic tribesmen in Africa. In his dream, he saw that on the tip of each soldier's spear there was a small hole. Elias immediately utilized this characteristic to invent a needle with a hole through its point. The great scholar Einstein affirmed that it was one of the principal inventions of his life. The theory of relativity, which is world-renowned, was an idea he had cherished since his youth, born from a dream. In his dream, he was speeding away on a snowmobile, the velocity increasing at a dizzying rate. Upon reaching light speed, the stars suddenly transformed in shape and dissolved into a brilliant band of light. In reality, Einstein's glowing device was but a mere dream, and nothing more than a dream. In fact, it was that very dream which troubled and spurred Einstein to contemplate, ultimately leading to his discovery of the theory of relativity. Another famous case that cannot be overlooked is the one concerning the scientist D.B.G. Mendeleev. He discovered the periodic table of chemical elements after dreaming about it. It is entirely possible to carry out chemical creations and inventions thanks to dreams. Elena Korabelnikova asserts that the cause lies within our brains, which operate like a computer. It continuously processes the information it receives in real time. Human beings are entirely capable of accessing information from a completely novel perspective or direction, possibly in the form of specific symbols or images. It is precisely these distinct and novel perspectives that can help people find solutions to the problems they have long pondered and sought in reality. However, Tibetan dream yoga is entirely distinct from modern methods of lucid dream research. Modern studies indicate that the ability to achieve lucid dreaming is closely linked to and may depend on each person's innate physical characteristics. Some people can easily achieve lucid dreaming, while others struggle to do so no matter how hard they try. But in Tibetan dream yoga, this is entirely different. They believe that anyone can learn, as long as they have the right practice method. The first major difference between Tibetan dream yoga and modern methods is the thorough preparation required before beginning lucid dream practice. Before you begin the practice, you need to prepare through 4 steps, also known as the householder's path. Tibetan dream yoga posits that practicing this method not only helps one achieve lucid dreams but also serves as a means to cultivate personal wisdom. The first step is to always remind yourself that everything we see is but a dream. As mentioned earlier, the root cause of dreams is fundamentally ignorance and karmic force. According to Buddhist teachings, the root of ignorance and karmic force is succinctly explained in a verse from the Diamond Sutra. This world is but an illusory dream. All is like a dream, a bubble, a shadow, like dew, like lightning, and fleeting as a passing cloud. When you understand this principle, you will become awakened, not only in your dreams but in every aspect of life. For example, Xiao Ming is a young artist who often feels pressure and anxiety due to the limitations in her own creativity. In my dreams, I always find myself lost in an endlessly vast palace of clouds. One day, he stumbled upon the Tibetan dream yoga discipline and from it learned the philosophy: all things in this world are like a flower, all are manifestations of consciousness. When faced with pressure, he stops, takes a deep breath, and tells himself, "This is just a dream." Gradually, he became more composed, able to easily confront and overcome challenges. The second step in the method of diligent practice is to eliminate greed and hatred. Buddhism holds the view that no matter how wealthy, successful, beautiful, or powerful you may be, you will still experience negative emotions if your heart is filled with greed and hatred. They are the origin of karmic force and delusive dreams. Therefore, always remind yourself to be content. Avoid envy so as not to be caught in the karmic cycle, and live mindfully. The third step is to strengthen your resolve. Before going to sleep, take a few minutes to reflect on the day's events and remind yourself that the nature of all things is illusory. For example, little Min reassured himself that there was nothing to worry about, that everything would be like a dream, and that it was all over. Tonight, Min will keep his mind truly clear and transform all worries into tranquility. The next step in the practice is to record a dream journal and plan for your own dreams. Finally, the fourth step is incredibly simple. The next morning, you just need to ask yourself whether you have just experienced a dream or not. What is the content of dreams, and can we recognize when we are dreaming? If you remember your dream, write it down immediately to preserve those details. After completing all the necessary preparatory steps, you can begin practicing dream yoga to learn how to control lucid dreams. In Tibetan dream yoga, the formal practice of dream yoga is carried out through 4 specific steps. However, before you begin, there are a few points to note, particularly regarding how you fall asleep. Buddhism holds the view that many people do not know how to sleep properly, leading to issues such as insomnia or the disruption of the body's energy channels. To remedy insomnia, Buddhism proposes 2 effective relaxation methods: the sutra penetration method and the bright point method. Among them, the thong kin method is a simpler and more effective technique, even considered to be the origin of the fast sleep method used in the US military. First, when preparing to sleep, take a deep breath, hold it for about 5 seconds, then exhale slowly. Repeat this action 5 to 10 times. Next, hold the raised eyebrow position for 3 to 5 seconds and then completely relax. Repeat this movement about 5 times. Then, press and hold the device for about 3 to 5 seconds before releasing your hand, repeating this motion a total of 5 times. Open your eyes wide and hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then slowly close them. Repeat this action 5 times. Finally, clench your teeth and hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, then completely relax your jaw muscles. Repeat this exercise 5 times. This method not only helps the body to loosen up and relax, but also allows you to focus on each movement, thereby reducing wandering thoughts and making it easier to fall asleep. Regarding sleeping positions, the Tibetan Yoga of Sleep method features 2 specific postures that are recommended for practice. The first pose is called the auspicious lion pose. Lie on your right side, water on your left, to promote blood circulation and easily fall into a deep sleep. The second pose is the diamond pose, which works to regulate the body's potential and connect with the cosmic energy source. This pose is especially suitable for advanced sleep yoga practices. Although dream yoga is considered to be at a lower level than sleep yoga, for the average person, practicing it to transform negative emotions is extremely beneficial. The first step in the practice of dream yoga is to meditate on the energy channels. Please assume the auspicious lion posture, close your eyes in preparation for sleep, while simultaneously visualizing a red lotus at your throat with a shining, hun, syllable at its center, merging as one with the lotus. Focus on this word until you fall asleep. Buddhism holds the belief that if your dreams become peaceful, you may dream of a journey leading to the Pure Land. The second step often makes many people feel rather uncomfortable. Try to wake up after about 2 hours of sleep, then maintain the auspicious lion pose combined